Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls! Bound Compass is proud to present to you the amazing adventures of Captain Farr Novarider and the Wild Horses! Brought to you by...
Sleek.
Like the salmon up a river.
Quiet.
Like the forest of Alpaca Gamma 9.
Powerful.
Like the wild Orion Delta 3 Valix cat.
The new 2011 Mercury-class Family Star Transport.
The only affordable solution for the frontier. And now, good listeners, look forward to the fantastical year of 2011 AD, to the years of the great Royal Confederation of Stars, to when humankind is expanded outward into the great beyond. We've reached thousands of planets, spending hundreds of light years in any direction, and still we reach farther. Intrepid colonists brave the great empty expanses of the undiscovered galaxies to forge a new era for the betterment of humankind on countless worlds, moons, and space stations. It is to this incredible frontier where we turn our ears. Tonight's story is The Dig.
Hurry, Wrench! Our contractor said that he'd meet us here at these coordinates.
Damn it, Capitan. I am a French engineer on Gamer. If I am not elbow deep in a brown savage parallel coaxiator, while drinking fine wine, I am playing Sable Justice on my Master System while smoking a fine cigarette. I am not cut out for these sweltering jungles and this hacking.
Oh, stop being such a big baby. If the message that this... what was his name? Chris Zenith Hunter? If the message that this Mr. Zenith Hunter sent was true, the Wild Horses stand to gain quite a bit of money. Based on the information that he provided, we're probably going to need your technical expertise.
But why did you not bring more crew members? Why just me?
It isn't just you. I've also brought along I. And because Mr. Zenith Hunter also mentioned that we would need a very small group. I have a feeling that the jump that we're about to partake in is slightly less than legal. Captain Novarider, sir, you have arrived at the coordinates provided by the message.
Enfin, I will need to play Connect more to get into better shape. Perhaps work on my already impressive martial arts skills taught to me by Fruit Ninja.
Well, it looks like you'll have time to catch your breath. There's no one here yet. No one except that stunning and athletic portrait of a woman coming towards us. Wrench, if you don't mind waiting here, I'm going to go hit on her until she either gives in to my irresistible charms or steps in with yet another restraining order. Either way, I win.
Captain Farr Novarider, it's a pleasure. I'm happy to see that you received my message.
Your message? No, I received a message from a Christopher Zenith Hunter, a daring and intrepid archaeologist who needs me, Captain Farr Novarider, to help him be both daring and intrepid. Are you a secretary? If so, could you get me 2 fingers of scotch? Also, I believe my friend here needs an inhaler, some sunscreen, and 2 liters of Super Tachyon energy drink, Extreme Gamer Fuel Plus. It appears to me because I'm a gamer, and it spells the word extreme without the E at the beginning. And it has the plus at the end.
Captain, I am Chris Zenith Hunter. Christine Zenith Hunter.
Ah, Christopher's sister, no doubt. 2 fingers of scotch, the Extreme Gamer Fuel Plus for my friend, and what would you say to a lovely evening under a jungle moon?
Captain Novarider, sir.
Lady Zenith Hunter is the archaeologist requesting your aid. Well, imagine my embarrassment. Can I make it up to you with a lovely evening under the jungle moon?
It's quite alright, Captain. I'm used to men not believing that I could ever be an archaeologist. Shall we get started?
Of course. I believe that you had some great tomb that you needed help raiding.
Please, Captain. Tomb raiders are nothing but glorified murderous thieves, only in it for their own glory. I am a xenoarchaeologist. My trade is knowledge of ancient alien civilizations, so that we, as a species, may know more about the galaxy and the universe, and also come to understand our relation to the grand picture, as it were.
So, is there a tomb that you need raided, or not?
There is, although we won't be pulling any artifacts out, as most of them have already been taken by other expeditions. No, this time I'm here for some information. Information that I believe could hold the key to unlocking an ancient spacefaring civilization that was in its prime when humans were still struggling with basic agriculture.
Not to question your probably sound and well-researched hypotheses, but do we not know very little about this civilization? How can you be sure that the information that you are looking for is here?
One of my former research partners, actually, Brendan Stark. He was the premier mind in xenoarchaeology. A little more than a year ago, I had heard that he died. A few weeks later, I received some of his research notes from an anonymous source. Seems he wanted me to continue his research. Some of the information had been removed, but it definitely points to a codex in the ruins of an ancient colony on this planet as being an important piece of the puzzle.
I'm assuming that you didn't hire us to be both dashing and daring, correct?
Well, that is a plus for me, but no. A confederated baron holds the rights to the ruins and is guarding it quite jealously, shooting first and not even bothering to ask questions. While I am handy with a ray gun, I'm afraid my talents are in identifying and codifying ancient alien artwork as well as paleoforensics. I'm not very good in a fight.
Well, Miss Zenith Hunter, Wrench and I will be more than happy to fulfill our roles as the guardian males. Under our protection, and with a little bit of smarts, we'll be able to keep you safe long enough to get the information that you need.
I knew that I could count on you, Captain. Now, I recommend that you save the boastful zeal for the hike. We've got about a day's worth of walking ahead of us.
Oh, mon Dieu. Commander, what's the situation at the site?
Baron Sherwood, the archaeologists are working on recovering what artifacts they can. Work on the codex, though, is progressing slowly, if at all. Not only are our computers unable to interface with the alien consoles, but the cryptologists are having trouble deciphering what little hieroglyphs they've managed to recover.
Damn. That codex is the whole reason I spent so much money to buy up rights for this dig site to begin with. Those artifacts are nothing but trinkets in comparison. Regardless of what information that codex contains, it will be the key to increasing my status in the Confederacy. At the very worst, its sale value will allow me to afford countless warships and troops. At best, I could become an archduke in the core systems.
I'll have the eggheads redouble their effort.
Good. Is there anything else that I should be aware of?
Sir, yes. Scouts reported back. A small frigate set down in a lake several clicks northwest of our position, then took off. The scouts weren't close enough to see if anyone debarked, but, sending patrols in just in case.
Good. Show no mercy, Commander. I'm close to attaining the glory I so deserve. I don't need interlopers meddling in my plans now.
Perhaps we could get a cheap rubber alien costume and a fog machine, and you could try and scare them away. As long as they don't have a talking dog and a kid who's perpetually high, you should be gold.
What in the Sam Hill?
The dig site is just beyond that landmark. We still have some distance to go.
It looks like there's quite a bit of activity in the ruins. Also, I'm seeing some patrols in the far-off periphery. There, in the tree line to the west, and two more over on the rocks on the hill off to the east.
They've stepped up their patrol since last time I was here.
It is possible that they spotted the Caballina when she dropped us off. Aye. Yes, Captain Novarider. Relay a message to Commander Derringer. Have him stand by for my signal. We may need a quick pickup.
Certainly, sir.
Also, inform the lovable but unlucky oaf that it looks like that he's going to have to dress up as a Twinkie, go to a high-class ball, and ask women if they could help fill him with delicious cream filling. Because I just went on bet that we would be spotted while landing.
Of course, sir.
Bet against us. I think I may have a problem.
So,
Quiet!
You know when you're playing...
Scouts!
Yeah? Damn,
It's a selfie.
hide.
God, I hate those. I have to, think. I wish more games were like Torchlight or Borderlands, right? Anyway, stealth section. You come across two guards or whatever, and they start having a conversation.
Oh, right. And it's some stupidly ironic and inane conversation like, "Hey, Bill, if we find the protagonist, what are you gonna do to him?" And the other one is all like, "Well, John, I'm gonna punch him really hard. And then I'm gonna sleep with his best girl, and for no reason I'll think she's a complete bitch because I'm nothing more than a sexist caricature." Right. And at that point, the player is supposed to jump out of their hiding spot and murder the two hapless, probably otherwise decent guards.
Isn't that just the worst cliche? The worst.
Only terrible rat tails use that cliche.
What the? Who the fuck are you?
Dramatic irony, of course.
Shit.
One's getting away.
I shall shoot you. No, we'll risk alerting the guards too early. Damned. If Regan were here, he'd be able to catch up to that scout. Of course, he'd also be crying uncontrollably. Chris, I'm afraid we'll have to hurry. Do you know exactly what you're looking for?
No, I don't. Like I said, Brendan's notes are incomplete. There's a partial description of the database and a general location within the ruins. Conveniently, also included in the package was a program module that would allow me to download and interpret information from alien computers.
Then we'll have to buy you some time to get what you need. Wrench, once we get into the ruins, I'm going to need you to set up some traps to help keep Chris and you safe from approaching patrols. MacGyver-esque, technically impossible, but still clever and seemingly plausible style traps? Or Conan's a barbarian made with the broken bones and crushed skulls of my enemies style traps? Why not both? How you say, neat.
Sir?
I'm going to transfer you to Miss Zenith Hunter's wrist computer. With that module, you should be able to help with the database.
Certainly, sir.
Lady Zenith Hunter, I am at your service.
But Captain, what about you?
Milady, I'm nothing more than a humble, suave, handsome, heroic, expert swordsman, handsome, clever, witty, calculating, handsome. Did I mention handsome? A handsome professional privateer / pirate. I must do what I do best and protect the fair maiden to the best of my abilities. Which I am best at.
Baron Sherwood, sir. I found intruders. They ambushed us. Killed my squad mates.
Well, catch your breath, son. Someone fetch him a glass of water. Now, tell me, how many are there?
There were 3 of them. 2 men and a woman. One of the men was a redhead. He spoke in an unnecessarily French accent. The other was a blonde man. He was wearing an old freelance captain's jacket.
Silly goatee, ponytail, well-crafted sword, a vague British accent.
Yes, actually.
Captain Farr Novarider. What in the name of the holy blue oyster cult is that pirate doing here?
Baron, my guess is that he's escorting the woman. She was athletically built, willing to get dirt on her, but stayed out of the fighting.
Clearly, she isn't a pirate or a privateer. She could be an archaeologist here for the SAT. Do you think she's here for the Codex, Baron?
Far too likely for comfort. Commander, call in the scouts. Increase the patrols in the compound.
Sir.
I will not tolerate these meddling children.
Yeah, well, we better hope that they don't have any da-da-da-da-da puppy power.
Right? I was thinking the same thing.
Seriously, what sort of hippie ballpark are you two yapping about?
Alright, Mr. Wrench, we should be getting close.
Parfait. I shall get to work on delaying any incoming patrols.
Aye. Please begin scanning for any electrical activity. See if you can isolate any unusual signatures.
Of course, my lady.
Will you be able to interpret the information once you have it? It sounded like that module might help translate the alien characters.
The module only adapts alien machine code to our own so that we can interface with their computers and store their data. I have a few associates that should be able to actually interpret the information. It really is a shame that the notes are incomplete. When Dr. Sark and I last spoke, he was on the verge of a breakthrough. Something about a lost alien colony or a military base. He had a talent for xenocryptography, an expert if there ever was one.
Brandon Stark. That name, it sounds familiar, but...
Dr. Brendan Stark was at the top of the xenoarchaeology field. Every major Confederated duke or university wanted him on staff. He was also a bit of a nerd and quite a gamer. His words, not mine. If there was one thing that he loved more than his research, it was old episodes of Doctor Who or playing games like Dungeons and Dragons. That, combined with his passion for fieldwork, meant he wasn't a very public name.
It sounds like you were quite infatuated with him.
Me? No, not my type. I admired his passionate talents, but nothing more. It was a severe blow to hear of his death, though.
What happened?
I'm not entirely certain. A few years ago, he picked up a grant from Duke Pascal Yard to research some ruins that one of the Duke's colonies had uncovered. Rumors vary, but he disappeared and was declared an enemy of the Yod Duchy. He sent me a few pictures and messages, mostly just questions that didn't really make sense out of context. I helped him where I could. One day, the questions stopped, and then I heard about his death, supposedly at the hands of one of his accomplices. A few weeks later, I received his notes, or at least most of them, as well as the module in the package.
Lady Xenohunter, I have located an unusual and large electronic matrix. It is approximately 200 meters to the southeast. My scans show the way should be free of guards. Go. I shall remain here and continue to set traps. I will join you as soon as I can.
Thank you, Wrench. I'll work as fast as I can.
Commander, status report.
Sir, all scouts have returned and been reassigned to patrols within the ruins. We've also pulled out all the archaeologists to reduce the chance that the intruders could be disguised, as well as possible casualties.
Excellent. It won't be long before I'm putting the noose around Novarider's neck.
Sir, we've captured one of the intruders.
Bring him in.
Baron Sherwood, this is the prisoner who surrendered to us. All he had was his sword. Although he denies it, I believe there may be more of them.
Of course there are, you simpleton. The scout who first reported them said that there were 3. This is just one. Now go on, get out of here, and keep looking.
Fine. I won't reference Return of the Jedi.
Well, well, well. If it isn't Captain Farr Novarider. Commander, could you be so kind as to place that sword on the other side of the room? We don't want our prisoner to have easy access now, do we?
Of course, sir.
Hello, Baron Sherwood. It's been quite a while since we've last seen each other. Indeed it has. Although it has not been so long that I might believe that you would just turn yourself in without some sort of plan. Tell me, Novarider, what is it, Expect to buy some precious time for your compatriots? Perhaps you come in here, pick the locks on your cuffs, kill my guards and staff, and attempt to put the king in checkmate? Clearly, Baron, you've already seen through my ruse. And you still think me a fool. Give him some room, gentlemen. The closer you are, the more likely he is to impale or shoot you with your own weapon. Tell me, Novarider, and perhaps I'll make this as painless as possible. Where are your 2 friends?
Somewhere in the ruins.
By right now, Miss Zenith Hunter is probably close to the database that she came here for. Oh, but don't expect to find and capture her so easily. See, my chief engineer, Leroux Wrench Lefavre, is simultaneously working on some very nasty traps for your men. Chances are you'll be hearing that you've just lost some of your squad in 3, 2, 1. 1. 3, 2, 1. 1. 1. Problem, Novarider?
No, I just...
1.
Baron Sherwood, I just found Team 4. It looks like they got caught in some horrifying trap.
Ah, called it.
Sergeant, proceed with caution. We believe there might be more.
It's a good bet, Commander. Frank was just crushed by a giant rolling boulder, and Tyson was just launched a good 100, maybe 120 yards by some sort of improvised catapult. I'm actually hanging from a rope upside down right now, and I'm missing my pants.
Well, that's a point in my favor.
Don't count yourself so lucky, Novarider.
Yeah, that's Pantless Mac. He always goes pantsless and tells people about it. It's weird.
Vive les 18. Chris, any luck?
I'm having some trouble, interfacing with the codex. It's protected by some sort of password.
Have you tried tapping in the alien equivalent of guest?
I seriously doubt. I'm not saying that worked. Saying that worked would just be silly.
Hurry. They are getting through my traps. I hope that the Capitan has some plan for getting us out of here.
I'm installing the interpretation module into your applications. You should be able to interface with the codex and download the information to my wrist computer.
I am beginning the process now, my lady. This is not good. We are being surrounded. Oh, manger géant, bordel à mort.
The rope traps and improvised scrap mines I get. But the giant hamster ball?
I used what I found. You are the archaeologist. Why did the aliens have a giant hamster ball?
I'm sure it was important. Culturally.
Be sure. I'm running out of traps. They are closing in. I have not been able to extract the information yet, Master Wrench.
We still have our weapons. Are you a good shot?
Despite what they say, first-person shooters do not teach you the first thing about using weapons.
I can't lose this information.
The download is currently at 83% complete. I hope the Capitan has an amazing plan.
French!
I have been shot.
Let me see the wound. Damn, I can't fix this.
Master Wrench, Lady Zenith Hunter, I must inform you that I am detecting multiple aggressors advancing on our position.
This is it. Team 6, move to flanking positions. Team 9, watch that checkpoint. We don't know what traps they're gonna throw at us.
Oh god! We're being chased by a giant hamster ball! It's like some horrifying version of American Gladiators!
Keep it together.
Things are not going well for you, Novarider. Soon, my men will surround and kill your two compatriots. I'll kill you. Then perhaps I'll enjoy a glass of bourbon while I wait for my scientists to finish extracting the information. It does indeed look like I've been beaten. You should be proud of yourself, Baron. You still seem confident. I don't know what you're talking about. There, that tone. What do you have planned, Novarider? Oh, nothing.
Baron Sherwood, we have the Codex surrounded. I'm moving the men in now.
Oh, yes, you should do that. No, don't!
Baron?
He has something planned. Pull the men back, damn it!
But if we move in now, we could...
Damn you, son. I'm not going to fall into his trap. I've come too far to throw caution to the wind. Are you sure? Don't let me stand in the way of your victory. Just a little bit closer. Call the men back now.
All squads fall back. I repeat, fall back. They're breaking off combat, sir.
Good. Now, Novarider, tell me what you have planned. Why, quite simple. I split my team. My head engineer goes with the sexy archaeologist who hired us and quite clearly has a thing for me, along with our shipboard AI to extract the information she needs. Meanwhile, I walk up to one of your patrols in the most brazen fashion that I can and surrender. Well, your little soldier guys focus on my head engineer and archaeologist, who I must reiterate is a definite 9. I'm taken directly to you. My head engineer makes the fight look good by setting up several Home Alone-style traps, if Kevin McAllister were actually Jigsaw. Meanwhile, I sit here looking smug. As your troops move in, I get more smug, making you more paranoid. In fact, I start to even suggest that you move your troops in closer and closer. It becomes a self-feeding loop until finally, you snap under the belief that I have a plan that will either destroy you, your troops, the Codex, or all of the above. My head engineer and the Hardy McHawkpants have the time that they need. Your troops go into standby mode waiting for further orders, and I destroy your communication systems, meaning you can't order said troops to attack, and make my daring escape while simultaneously taking out your commanding officer for good measure. Bull, Parker! Is it? Yes! Step 1. Use everyone's disbelief in my absurd plan to take the initiative. Ho-ha! Step 2. Borrow random guard's gun. Thank you.
The Baron warned me about this.
Step 3. Dispatch guard.
Oh, I'm really embarrassed right now.
Step 4. Destroy the communicator.
Seriously, that was our only communicator.
Step 5. Retrieve favorite priceless sword. There's a good girl. Step 6. Mortally wound field commander for good measure. Haha!
No, seriously. I'm the only field commander.
Step 7. Escape through the window in a dramatic, heroic fashion. Fig jam, baby!
I'm the best around! Nothing's gonna keep me down. I'm the best around.
I'll get you next time, Novarider. Next time!
Okay, you have to be doing this intentionally. I'm still not entirely certain why they stopped when they did. They almost had us.
It is best not to ask questions. Hopefully, this is the Capitan's doing. If it involves me being totally awesome, then yes, it was all me. Wrench, how bad is your wound?
Not good. He's going to need medical treatment.
I am fine. A bit of French wine and a couple of cigarettes, and I will be back to normal. And the data thingy? Captain, the download has just finished, sir.
Good. I'm assuming that you contacted the Caballina at the right time so that they would arrive to pick us up right when I finish the sentence?
The fig jumps,
Perfect. Chris, grab I. I've got wrench. Let's get out of here before they figured out what happened.
And thus concludes this episode of the amazing adventures of Captain Farr Novarider and the Wild Horses! Gentle listeners, join us again soon right here at boundcompass.blogspot.com for the many more adventures to follow! This amazing adventure was conceived, written, voiced, and interpreted into dance by Devin Peters, with special guest Lindy the Sardonic Girl Peters. With sound effects by soundj.com, packtv.com, 3dmmstudio.co.uk, Flash, EFX, sounddogs.com, Series 6000, Extension 3, and The General, Supplier 2200, Digifx, Soundstorm Library, Impact Effects 3, Guns, Rhyme Notes, Airborne Sound Library, The Sound Effects Bible, Triple Crown Sound, File Effects Library, Maxton Soundbooks, freesound.org, The Sound Effects Kit, soundscalpel.com, freesfx.co.uk, and Sonic Science. All music created by Bradley Rains, copyright 2013. Visit Bradley at www.bradleyrains.com. Bound Compass and the amazing adventures of Captain Farr Novarider and the Wild Horses are copyright 2013.
We haven't heard anything from base for like 5 hours.
Does anyone know who that guy was who ran by laughing and singing You're the Best by Joe Esposito?
And what about that ship that flew overhead?
Something tells me we're fired.